Welcome to Tech Savvy. My name is Leigh Newman and I'm the Executive Director of Campus Operations on the LaGrange campus of West Georgia Tech. And we have so many great things going on out at our college and on our campus. We are in the process of registering students and getting them enrolled for the spring semester, which starts in January. We're looking for a pretty good size enrollment too. Right now we're a little ahead of what we were last year this time. So if you're interested in enrolling in our spring semester, you need to be coming out there or checking us out on West Georgia Tech's website. It's www.westgatech.edu. So we look forward to hearing from you or seeing you or reading your emails saying you're interested in joining us out there. Today, as with every episode we have a couple of very exciting special guest stars. It's probably one of my especially favorite programs because of my business background, but we have a business management program. And we've got one of the lead instructors here today with us, and then in the second block, we're going to be talking to a very impressive student. So we have lots of exciting things to talk about today, and we'll start by I'll introduce my special guest star, Angela Farley, and she's our instructor for business management.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining me today, and I've been looking forward to just sitting and talking business with you.
All right, you got the right one. I will talk.
Well, we've got some really exciting things going on in our business department, and I think let's start off with. Give us a little background of, I know you've had experience in the field. Tell us what you've done and how valuable it is to your students now.
Okay, well, first of all, I started out as a business owner, family-owned business. Got a chance to work with my dad, who had been in business about 40 years. He owned his own fence installation business. He wanted to transfer this business one day down to his boys, but his boys didn't want it, so he finally gave in to my sister and I, and we started helping him with the business. I had a master's in human resources management, but unfortunately I found out that it didn't work with a family-owned business, and they like to remind me, you can't come out here with all of that stuff. So when I got into the teaching field, I've got a chance to enjoy learning all the concepts and teaching students and future business owners, future managers and supervisors the right way to manage your business.
Do you know how valuable those skills are today?
They are quite valuable. It's a difference between making money and not making money. If you're in the business just to have fun, that's okay. But if you want to make some money, you got to manage your human resources. And that's what I like to teach people. Don't
you feel like that? I've heard it, because HR is my background too, and that's what my undergraduate was at University of Georgia. And so it's just, it is constantly coming up that your personnel, your employees are your greatest resource.
Yes, they are.
And in order to get the most out of your resources, what do? You develop them. You train them.
And allow them to work with you.
Exactly.
Get everybody on the same page.
Give them the tools, and they will be able to use those tools to be better employees, right?
And that's what we do in our program.
I'm so excited about it because in my talks with employers today, they want the problem solving, they want the critical thinking, they want that out of all their employees. So, that's such a vital part of our business classes. Give me some examples of programs that you teach, classes that you and subjects that you cover, and projects that you do. I want to know all the details.
Okay, good. Principles of Management, that's our basic class. It touches on all the concepts of planning, leading, organizing, and controlling. You're going to need that in any type of industry, whether it's manufacturing, whether you're at a restaurant, daycare center, all of that. Planning, leading, organizing, and controlling. Then we get into, we have a human resources management class and organizational behavior. Everyone needs to know why people do what they do. Everyone from day one they walk on this earth, there are some things that are embedded in them. And we need to understand why people don't act the way I act, or why that person didn't come into work today, or why that person is not working. So organizational behavior is a good class for that. Business ethics, we want to be all of our employees to exhibit ethical behavior. Will they always do that? No. So again, we get into the behaviors of why people do what they do, and how do you make sure that you're demonstrating ethical behavior. Project management.
Everybody needs a project management program or a class or training, because everything you do is a project.
Exactly.
And the management part of it is really a simple process. It's just, following the plan, finding the timeline.
And you can get out there and start with nothing, and that's what you'll end up with, nothing. But if you come up with a plan, manage it correctly, there are tools, all type of software that you can use to help manage your projects, but you have to know what you need.
Well, give me some examples of end results, like when we have a person that graduates from your diploma, or what's the next step that they can do?
A lot of times my students are getting ready to go to that 4-year school. We have that articulation degree with the school in Carrollton.
Oh, West Georgia, University of West
we
Georgia.
Have that.
So they can get 2 years of our classes, and then they can automatically transfer all those credits to Carrollton.
Automatically transfer. We're working on several different schools. All of our general ed courses will transfer to any university system school here in Georgia. So this courses that you would pay a whole lot of money for at a 4-year school like UGA or Georgia State University, you get it cheaper here, get that same quality education right here
at West Georgia Tech. We have to meet the same standards that university system does in our core classes. And I think one thing, I graduated from Georgia, I went all 4 years, but I see the hands-on, one-on-one communication with your instructor as being so valuable in a smaller school, in a 2-year school. And then you can take what you're learning and just apply everything once you move into the bigger school. It's such a wonderful opportunity, and it's so affordable.
Exactly. I have a student now that recently told me that she has a sister that is working on her master's at Georgia State. And my student was doing her homework, and her sister at Georgia State asked her, "Why are you doing all that for just a little technical school?" So we're not that little technical school anymore.
We're the best kept secret in town.
Yes,
I think that's
are.
What
our students will be able to compete with the UGA student, with the in business management. They will. We're using some of the same textbooks that they're using. And I know that I'm giving them the quality education that I received at 4-year school. So what I got, they're getting that same lesson.
I'm so proud of what we're doing out there, and I'm so proud to be a part of everything that's going on. I'm helping you or helping your students in a project. Please explain this to me, because you just told me I need to be somewhere at some time. I want to know a little bit more about it. So.
Okay, this is the class is called Business Plan Development, and it's a required class for students that are getting their associate degree and they're specializing just in general business. But the students have to write a business plan. And what they're going to do as an end of course project is they're going to present that business plan like something like an elevator pitch. And I'm promoting it as a Shark Tank.
I love it. I love it. That's such a great idea.
Yes, I have some people from the community that are coming in, you and some other faculty members, and then some people from the community. They're going to come in and they're going to judge those presentations. Got some students that are really interested in starting their own business. So this is going to be a good thing for them. They're prepared for it. They're going to do their elevator pitch, and hopefully they'll make some contacts.
I've watched that program a couple of times, and it's just fascinating to me. I mean, of course, I'm going to pretend like I have all this money to put towards somebody's, and I'm going to say, I'll give you X if you da-da-da-da. And so there's going to be some negotiation.
Yes, it is.
That is such a valuable tool.
Right, and I'm going to have money and everything, so they're going to be competing.
I think that is so real-world experience.
Yes.
And they're going to learn so much from it because they have to do it.
Right. This will prepare them for the real world. when you get out there in front of that angel investor or that potential investor, you've got some experience on presenting your plan.
And it's a lot of sales involved, obviously.
Yes.
You got to sell yourself.
Exactly.
But your students and your graduates from West Georgia Tech are going to have a product to sell. There
Yes,
is
they
no
will.
doubt about it, and that's what we're here for in all our courses.
Right.
In all our courses. One thing that I think we've talked about in the past is I wish that there would be some business classes for all of our programs out at West Georgia Tech. Example being cosmetology.
Yes.
And truck driving, and an electrician, because many of our students don't have a job to go to initially, but they do have that skill that they can
Right.
sell. What would you suggest to maybe an electrician that when they graduate, what do they need to know how to do?
We have a certificate that gives you everything that you would need to know how to do just to manage your business on a small scale. It's our
Really?
Principles of Managed class, and 4 other classes you can get a certificate. You take those classes, about 20 hours, I believe, and you will know the basics of how to lead people, how to get organized, then how to go back in and look and see what was effective and what was not
Do
effective.
you get any accounting in that particular certificate?
In that certificate, no.
No. But I'm sure there's a way to put some of that on the side, you know.
Right.
And
You get a little bit of financial management,
Okay.
and you'll get familiar with the tools that are out there that's available for you. So that's a good thing.
that is an excellent idea. And
Yes.
I'm so glad we have that. It's just another example of all the great things that we're doing at West Georgia Tech.
Yes.
And we can make such a difference in so many people's lives. If somebody out there that's viewing this episode today, if you have any more questions about this, of course, you can contact Ms. Farley, and you can contact us at West Georgia Tech, and we'll be glad to fill in any of the blanks or get you started on it. But we're done with our first block, so we've had a good time talking, and
All right.
promise me you'll come back and see
I
so
will
we can
come
talk
back.
some more business.
I have a lot more to talk about, so I'll be glad to come back anytime.
We're here to listen, and we'll
All right.
definitely have you back. And
Thank you.
in the next block, we're going to have a student, and he's really excited about telling his story too. So we'll see you back in just a minute. Welcome back to Tech Savvy. My name is Leigh Newman, and I'm with West Georgia Tech. And the second block, we have a very special guest star. Well, all my guest stars are special, but this one's a very special one today. We have the student that is in the business management program, and his name is Octavius Smiley. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm very impressed. I've just gotten to talk to you for just a few minutes, and one thing I want to make sure we do is you're a veteran, and thank you very much from everybody for your service.
You're welcome.
And very proud to have you at West Georgia Tech.
Glad to be there.
And just in our little bit of conversation, I've already learned a lot. And I've already got some ideas on how we can do better for the veterans too. So,
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, you already know my name. I'm 42 years old. I retired from the military in 2013 after serving 22 years in the Army.
Wow.
I have a wife and 6 children.
Bless your heart.
So yes, so now since I retired, I've taken on the role of being the stay-at-home dad, and she is working. She's also in West Georgia Tech. She is studying nursing.
Great.
She's trying to get in, to the nursing program. Very competitive.
Very competitive.
So that's what she's doing, and right now I'm at home, and while I'm at home, I manage my classes, which is very good for me because I have the flexibility to set up my classes so I can be home for the kids and she can be, you know, at work, or she can come here for her morning classes. So it works out for me.
So I think with the business management, the 6 children, a lot of HR involved in that, isn't it?
A lot of HR, a lot of time management goes on.
Conflict management.
Conflict management every day with 4 girls. So
Oh,
there's some conflicts.
What are the
come up.
ages?
14, 13. I have a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, and 2 7-year-olds.
You have a twin set of twins?
Yes, a set of twins. Yes.
Girls?
Boy and a girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot of time management.
A lot of
involved.
time management.
Conflict. I'm thinking problem solving is probably your most valuable class that you're learning in this.
Well, it is, but a lot of it thankfully is a rollover from the military, so I can kind of.
Do you line them up every morning and make sure they brush their teeth?
No inspection, but they had their routine. You know, you have to be consistent, and you just have to make sure they do the same thing every day, and you know.
Well, they've got their rules, they've got their limits.
Yeah, they have their left and right limit, and as long as they stay within those guidelines, have a happy childhood.
Those kids are going to turn out really, really well. I can't wait to hear the stories about them.
Oh, they get mad at us, but we stick to our guns.
Well, they're supposed to.
Yes, we're not their friends.
All right, well, tell me why we're interested in business and in business management program.
Well, initially I wanted to become a program manager. And what I found was most businesses will hire from within. They're not going to hire a program manager from the outside to come in and run one of their programs that they don't know anything about. So that led me to, okay, at least let me get my foot in the door as a manager. Being a manager is something that I'm familiar with, being in the Army. Having soldiers, I had up to 300 soldiers at one time. So I was able to kind of manage and also use my span of control and things of those nature. So basically management to me is almost a second nature, and that way I can get into the business community that way and then pursue my goal as being a project manager.
I'm checking these things off. Oh my gosh, you've got your military background, you're going to have your college degree, you're going to have all kinds of options. You certainly have got the experience. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, you know, what else do you need?
Well,
the paper, right?
I need the paper. I need a diploma to back up everything, back up my experience. So.
Well, you've gone through the list of the requirements that industry is looking for today. I mean, it is so important to have the skills that you already have. Right. But the good news is, the program that you're in, you're going to learn from Ms. Farley the things that you don't know. You're going to be able to fill in those gaps.
Yes, ma'am. And those are the things I can't always come at it at a military approach. So dealing with the classmates and in Ms. Farley's class, I've learned to kind of soften what I say, and that way I can kind of speak civilian, so to speak, and make it work in a civilian sector.
Well, you realize now that everybody's got different buttons that need pushing in order to get that needs to get done, and that's a learning experience. I mean, you don't learn that over. I mean, some people you don't know what you can do to motivate them.
Right.
It takes a little process control to go through that.
It takes a whole different. But you have to know all the processes. You have to know all the things and
the motivation,
the motivators to get them to do what you want them to do. But you can't have just one. You have to have a whole bunch in your toolkit because everybody's different.
Oh, you're talking such a business communications. I am so impressed. All right, well, tell me what your plans are. I mean, you're just starting now, or how long have you been at West Georgia Tech?
This will be my 3rd semester. I will probably have one more semester in the spring to finish. I have to do financial accounting. I have to finish that up, and then I have a project management class with Ms. Farley. Yes, and business, I forget, I've taken so many business classes, kind of runs together, but I have about 4 more classes to take.
Right.
And then I'll move on to another school to get my bachelor's.
So you're going to transfer your credits to a 4-year college,
yes, ma'am.
Or university.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's wonderful. And think about how you're at home. It's really a very reasonable rate, especially with your benefits that you get as a veteran. Now you're going to get all that taken care of, and then you might have to commute to maybe Carrollton or Columbus.
Maybe I can go. I'm probably looking at West Georgia because it's close, and that's one of the main reasons why I chose West Georgia Tech, is because I retired here. and I didn't want to commute back and forth to Atlanta or Columbus.
Right.
Because in the end, your bottom line, gas you have to include. And at the time, gas is still high. But I didn't want to, eat at my bottom line with driving back and forth.
Now, another benefit to our programs, and I guess it's probably true everywhere, is we do have a lot of online portions to it. So, like, I'm guessing most of your classes are hybrid.
Yes, they're about 50-50, but again, you have the options. And if there's a day that I know, like my 3 kids play soccer, the 3 oldest play soccer, the youngest play other sports. So I can look at their schedule and say, hey, I need to be able to have the flexibility, so I will take an online class. And with Angel, I can go in and set up my courses and look for those classes, and then I can set up my schedule that fits our needs. So.
That is just so cool.
So it is.
So flexible, and so there's really nothing keeping you from meeting your goals, being in business, and
no.
With the career part, that's going to be an easy process, because once you get your paperwork, you're going to have a lot of opportunities at your feet.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure you will. All right, well, tell me about your experience just as a student at West Georgia Tech.
Well, my experience there at first was a little overwhelming. I've been out of school for about 22 years, I guess. I've been out of school. But there are tutors available, and basically you have to start with your core classes, your English, where they help you learn and how to write correctly, college level essays and papers. And then I had to take an art class and then another math class. But all of those things kind of glide you into your next set of classes. So I think it was pretty good. My experience that far was great.
The transition is challenging.
It is challenging.
There is no doubt about it.
Yes.
I mean, you've got to change your priorities.
Yep.
you have to sit down at the computer for a little bit longer than you had probably been used to.
Yes.
Well, what about customer service? Have we treated you well? Have we been helpful to you and removed any barriers that were in the way besides math? I know you told me earlier.
Customer service has been great, and whenever I need a financial question, of course, you got to make it so it's not when everybody's going, but that's with any place. But when you get there, they help you out and they'll walk you through the process, and it's been no problem for me. So no problem whatsoever.
That's what I want to hear. Now, I mean, I'm sure that you've had some issues that you had a little problem getting done, but in the long run, we finished it. We finished it up, and we had somebody that would help you, right?
Yes, ma'am. There's somebody there. And on the veteran side of the house, there's always help for us. There's a person,
Miss Wheeler.
Miss Wheeler. Couldn't think of her name right there. But she helps us out at all times.
Good.
So we email her, and she'll email back to us within 1 or 2 days, depends on her caseload or whatever.
Right.
But we get the answers that we need.
Well, there's so much out there for veterans, and again, I can't express how proud I am that you chose us to be part of your learning process and your career building process. So if you had a chance to talk to somebody, some of your friends, some of your family, and they were thinking, I don't know, what would I want to do something, but I'm not sure what it is I do, would you recommend West Georgia Tech?
Yes, I would recommend West Georgia Tech. I think when I was choosing a school, there was a lot of naysayers out there about West Georgia Tech, to be honest, and those are not true. I mean, the homework, the assignments, the things you have to do, to me, talking to my nephew who goes to Georgia State, are on par with what he's doing. It's the same thing. So there's no difference. So I don't know what West Georgia Tech did prior to now, but I see now they're the same as any other school.
Sometimes students just aren't ready to go to college.
Yes.
And that might have been the case in some of the people that you had talked to earlier. But we're here. We'll do whatever we can to make sure you're successful. That is our goal. That is our responsibility to you.
Yes.
And sometimes it might seem that we're not doing what it is you think is best, but usually there's a good reason behind it.
Right.
And that's hard on us as administrators to explain. Sometimes I don't understand why I have to do this particular number of whatevers. Well, in the long run, when you get in the real world, this is what is expected of you to do. You might not like it, but this is what is expected. And so that's what we're trying to do, is prepare you for your career and the world of work.
Well, I do think that West Georgia Tech is I believe they're in a unique position because the 3 high schools that are here, they come here and some of the kids haven't prepared correctly to enter a 4-year college. They all have dreams of going to Auburn or Georgia, but they haven't.
Why would they want to go to Auburn? Yuck.
I don't know. They haven't prepared themselves. So when they go to West Georgia Tech, no one has told them how to manage their time. And even though you're here and there's people here, it's hard for them to adjust. But I think in the long run, it does help them to go.
Perfect opportunity for them to mature.
Yes, to learn what they need to do to graduate a bigger school.
The structure is important, and that's what we're hoping we're going to be able to add to the Think Academy, with the dual enrollment programs that we're going to be offering, and it will be on our campus. So you might see high school students run around, and you're going to have to say, "Okay, I'm the big man. You want to be just like me."
Right. Pull your pants up.
Thank you. Well, this has been fun. Will you come back and visit me again?
Sure, I will.
It didn't hurt, did it?
No, it didn't hurt at all.
And I want to keep up with you, and I want to find out about your progress and what your plans are. And I guess I'll get to see you in the project. Entrepreneur Project?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in that class?
I am in that class. You'll see.
I can't wait to see it.
Hopefully you'll see my business. I hope that if that takes off, then I'll be my own manager.
Well, you're going to be knowing how to do that when you get done with Miss Farley's classes.
Yes,
right?
I will.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. And that concludes our episode today, Tech Savvy. As you can see, we have got some really exciting things going on at our campus, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. So please, until the next episode, we'll see you next time.
The Callaway Conference Center, located on the East Campus of West Georgia Technical College. It's exceptional in so many ways. In the next 3 minutes, you'll see why the Callaway Conference Center should be the destination for your next event. Location matters. From Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, it's an hour's drive, then just off the freeway. Convenient? Yes, and it's in a pleasant, quiet setting. Parking is not an issue. There are 244 regular spaces, 9 handicapped spaces, even additional parking if needed. Now, come inside to appreciate all 30,000 square feet of this dramatic facility. Spacious, attractive, efficiently operated, and highly functional throughout. The center's auditorium is 7,700 square feet of amazingly flexible space. For auditorium seating, up to 700 guests can be comfortably accommodated. For banquet seating, up to 500 guests can be served. Head table needed? No problem. Is a stage required? If so, select the size and height you prefer. And the latest in lighting, sound, and HD projection capabilities are ready for your speakers and presentations. Consider the possibilities. Does your next event call for half this much space? That's no problem. 4 spaces for different activities? Or do you need a large area for a special event that allows great mobility? Even green space is available. Would you like food service? If so, choose from buffet style or table service. There's a catering holding kitchen adjacent to the auditorium. The public areas are welcoming and just right for networking, connecting with old friends, and making new acquaintances. Come to the Callaway Conference Center for business meetings, training events, testing, marketing events, reunions, and even weddings and receptions. The Callaway Conference Center staff looks forward to answering your questions about moderate costs, deposit policies, availability, and much more. They want your event to be the one for the memory books. The time is right for booking your next event at the Callaway Conference Center, West Georgia's premier place to meet.